Welcome back, everybody. The Bail Project, an organization that helps bail people out of jail, is shutting down its Las Vegas office. And one of the men that they helped release shot someone. That's right. The Bail Project was founded in 2017, and it's backed by celebrities like Richard Branson, John Legend, and Danny Glover. The organization says it has helped more than 7,000 people get the money they need to get out of jail. Advocates argue that bail is inherently discriminatory because if you take two people who committed the same crime, but one doesn't have cash to put up, that person stays behind bars before the trial. But last year, the Bail Project posted a $3,000 bail for Rashawn Gaston Anderson. And less than a week later, he shot a waiter 7 times during an attempted burglary. Now, he took a plea deal, getting 7 to 18 years in prison, but the victim sued the Bail Project. And it turns out the Bail Project had another big problem because it was reportedly not registered with the state.
There's a question as to whether or not the fact that the technicality of this particular organization not being registered in Nevada the way that they needed to be, like other bail companies, would end up making a difference. Okay. There would be some particular penalty probably related to them operating as a bail provider when they weren't supposed to, just like every other company. If I'm Joe's Bail Bonds, I have to have certain licensures, et cetera. And apparently this organization did not check that box, but it would still be a very, very long stretch, I would believe, for them to be liable for what this individual ends up doing when they were released pursuant to a valid bail amount.
Terry, you think this Bail Project should have been shut down? I mean, what else could they have done to protect themselves from liability here?
Well, this particular office had to shut down, at least for the time being, because they weren't registered. But I think that at the end of the day, I agree. I don't think that they're going to lose as far as that case is concerned because it is not their responsibility. They don't have that duty owed. They need to have their licenses, but they don't have to guarantee that anyone they let out of jail based on the fact that they paid is not going to commit another crime. I do think that the judge here in this case should have looked at the background of this individual, and if there was criminal behind that, violent, act, then I think he shouldn't have been let out. Now, having said all that, should the company have done due diligence? Yes. For them to have a reputation that they are helping people, they need to make sure the people they help deserve getting out of jail. So here, I think they didn't pick the right person, but they're not liable for it.
So, Brian, you had mentioned that Gaston Anderson's bail of $3,000 actually tells us a lot about the case. How is that?
Exactly. So judges are setting bail based on 2 things, more than 2 things, actually. The crime, their history, and every other state except New York does this thing where they actually set bail based on their potential danger. When you hear a $3,000 bail, that means the judge has already done their due diligence and doesn't think this person is a danger to society. Whether it be someone paying $3,000 or you going to a bonds person where you get to pay 15% of that. So what if it's $3,000, you pay $450, and you got to put up the other $2,550 in collateral. That's a small amount when you're thinking about bond, and that's reflective of what the evidence was against him. This isn't a bail bonds person issue. This isn't a celebrity bail project issue. If anything, it's the judge who set a low bail.
Put the impetus on the judge. Great quick math there, Brian. I would have been lost, so I'm glad you handled that.
I'm good with bond. I'm good with bond.
Lawyers, we're not good with numbers. What can I say?